Agriculture is arguably the most important industry on our planet. As a wife and a mother, I want to sustainably provide food for my children. I want to make sure that my family doesn't go to bed hungry at night. And ultimately, AgBiome is interested in making sure that the world doesn't go hungry, so that we provide crop protection tools to growers that will sustainably make food to feed our planet. We know that we have to increase production by 70% by 2050 to feed the world population, and we're a part of that. So that's exciting.
Tiger dog, go with Jordan.
Come on, Tiger dog.
Oh, well. Come on, Tessie.
Come on, Tessie. Yeah, our culture's pretty laid back. I mean, if you look at the needs in agriculture right now, we need to have innovations and we need them quickly.
Yep, look around. AgBiome may not be the most traditional company, but it's a biotechnology innovator.
People spend a lot of their day working, and so it should be something that they want to come and enjoy. So we have our dogs here on Friday, Fido Friday. We do a lot of fun things. Tessie, come on.
The higher purpose behind the fun and the serious science is a novel solution to the pest problems facing farmers around the world. To understand the solution, dig into the soil and the plant's microbiome.
So the microbiome is really referring to the microorganisms that can exist in the soil, it can exist on the plant, and our focus is really on the plant-associated microbiome.
There are hundreds of millions of microbes on and around a plant's roots. Some can harm the plant and spread disease. Others help the plant process food and protect it from diseases and harsh conditions. Still others influence the soil around the plant. AgBiome's researchers gather those microbes in soil samples from around the world for analysis.
So the way we make our discoveries is we take soil and plant samples essentially from all over the world. We then isolate all the microorganisms in those samples, and then using our Genesis platform, discovery platform, we sequence every gene and every genome in all those microorganisms. So we have a full big data set of information that allows us to screen for those microbes that are efficacious against killing insects, targeting plant disease, or killing weeds.
The company then uses those microbes to protect the plant. In short, analyze and understand what is naturally working and build on it.
This is a plant pathology lab, and whenever possible, we want to be able to assess the activity of our microbial collection against different pathogens on whole plants themselves or on plant tissue, because we believe that's more predictive of the activity of the microbe out in the field.
So it looks like some plants are doing well, some plants are not doing well.
Yes, we're very excited about that, because if we didn't have a pathogen that causes severe mortality against the plants, then we don't have an assay. So high disease pressure is something that we look for in a strain of pathogen to challenge the plants. We also are very happy to have a positive control that is one of our products, Howler, which you can see up front here, which is performing admirably well against no treatment of Howler.
So we're taking the actual microorganisms and putting those into a pesticide. And it's the microorganisms that confer activity against insects or plant pathogens or weeds.
So you're making a new pesticide, I guess.
We're making novel pesticides, absolutely.
Customized for that soil or that plant or whatever.
Correct.
You're smiling. That's kind of cool.
It's pretty exciting.
You really have to work with the insect that is your target. So that's what we do here at AgBiome, is we work specifically with the crop pests that we're trying to target. And then once we find that something works, then we expand from there and we look at all the other different insects that it could potentially target as well. So what you're looking at here is corn earworm. This is the big fat caterpillar that you sometimes find in your ear of corn. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we look at these rows and we look for the ones that are dead. So these guys are all fat and happy, but this row, they're all small and dead, so the microbe has killed them. So that's something we'd be very interested in looking at more.
So this worked, so we're going to do more study on that.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Okay. So it's actually the bacteria that's grown up in a media, and the bacteria is put onto the plate, and then that's what we test.
In fermentation team, we get the microbes that perform outstanding in plant assays and insect assays in controlling the diseases, but we need to produce them in like large quantities. So we make sure we produce them and in an economical way.
The discovery comes from in the lab, right? And we want to test those products or those microbes in Planta to make sure that they still work, and so that they're still efficacious on the pests or diseases that we're going after.
There are a lot of pressing needs in agriculture right now because a lot of agricultural pests have developed resistance to a lot of the tools that we use today. And also consumers are starting to demand more around food safety. We're just looking at what's already existing. And so we take those microorganisms and then we screen them against a number of targets. So that might be looking for insecticidal activity against key insect pests or looking against specific plant pathogens to see if they'll kill or immobilize the plant disease. And so once we find targets, we then bring those through a series of developmental tests and ultimately develop a bio-based pesticide.